This is the BMW i4 M50, the quickest version in the i4 series. 554 horsepower, should do 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds and has a VLTP range of up to 520 kilometers. But that's with the 18-inch wheels. This one has the M wheels, 19-inch, and this episode is about testing range, consumption, acceleration and noise, cabin noise of this car. Welcome to It's Only Electric. Let's start with the range and consumption test and see if we can get close to or even beat the stated VLTP range of this car. Great conditions outside, sunny, dry roads, 20 degrees. Let's go. So now I'm sitting in the BMW i4 M50, 544 horsepower, a powerful car, all-wheel drive. Let's see how it will manage and what score it will get. And look at the consumption and actual range. Let me explain some basics about this test. I always drive the same route for all the cars I test. It's a 80 kilometers long route with speeds between 50 and all the way up to 110 kilometers per hour. The average speed is 93 kilometers per hour. I always follow 3 strict rules. Rule number 1, cabin temperature is set to 20 degrees and auto. Drive mode always, when available, on Eco. In this case, Eco Pro, because that's what the BMW has. Rule number 3 is that I always stick to the speed limits. Always stick to the speed limits. The rules are necessary to be able to keep as consistent result as possible and comparable to all the other cars I test. The current conditions: totally dry roads, no wind, 20.5 degrees outside Celsius, so pretty darn good conditions for a range test. So I guess this is the best possible result you're going to be able to get with this specific car. So let's see if we can beat the VLTP range. Time for first check-in. Traveled 26 kilometers. Average consumption until now is 16.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer. A fairly low consumption considering that I just put a 110 kilometers per hour stretch behind me. So now the speeds are a bit lower, currently 80. If I can keep this consumption, that will be really good and lead to a very good total range actually. So let's see. The dry mode Eco Pro, the one that I use now for this range test, uses the Comfort suspension. So this car has an active suspension, and Comfort is the more softer and more comfortable mode, as you hear, goes without saying. I think it behaves well in the Comfort mode, but if you want to know more about this car in total, I have made a full review of it, so please check that video here. A full review of the i4 M50. Don't forget to check that. Okay, so just hit the halfway, 40 kilometers past. Average consumption until now is actually 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer flat. That's a impressive consumption. It will get higher though, because the last parts is quicker speeds, so expect some higher average consumption. But currently with this stats, it will actually beat the VLTP range, so let's hope for that. Let's briefly talk about the cabin noise in the i4 M50. There is a lot of tire noise actually, and some noise getting through the windows from cars passing by. This car doesn't have double pane or acoustic glass, not in the front, neither in the back. Also has a sunroof, so I'm going to measure the actual noise levels. I'm going to measure 4 different speeds: 50, 70, 90 and 110 kilometers per hour, to give you as good information as possible when it comes to cabin noise. So some of the tire noise is not due to bad insulation, I guess. It's also due to choice of tires. So it's running Hankook Ventus S1 tires, staggered setup, so 245 at the front, 255 at the back, so wider tires at the back, 19-inch wheel all around. So still a lot of rubber, but wide tires to be able to keep traction and accelerate and utilize all the power that this car actually has. So not the most silent car, but stay tuned for the measurements and noise results. Getting close to the end of this test. 70 kilometers put behind us. Average consumption has went up a little bit, so 15.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer. That's still a good consumption. So let's see how this ends. So I'm done with the range and consumption test. Final consumption, 15.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer. That's a really great score, and that's after some upward adjustments because the car seems to overreport the distance by 1.2%. So 15.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometer is the adjusted and final score. That translates into a full range of 100% of the battery of 522 kilometers or 324 miles. So it actually overperforms according to the specifications. Let's continue and have a look at the acceleration. Ready for the first drag session. State of charge 89%. This is the i4 M50 Sport Plus Active with boost. Ready for launch. Number 1.
Zero to 60 miles per hour time 3.82 seconds. 0 to 100 cave time 3.98 seconds.
That's impressive. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour 3.98 seconds. According to spec, it should be able to 3.9. So this is the first try. Very impressive. 0 to 60 miles per hour 3.82 seconds. And slope 0.0%. So this is actually a perfect first test. Let's do another one. Okay, so a second attempt. Sport, boost, foot on the brake pedal, launch mode active. Go. It's quick.
0 to 60 miles per hour time 3.60 seconds. 0 to 100 cave time 3.77 seconds.
Oh, a bit downward slope here, 1%, but 0 to 100, 3.77 seconds. 0 to 60 miles per hour, 3.6 seconds. Let's do a last try and see if we can get it even lower. But impressive in launch mode. This really launches good. This time didn't give me as much wheel spin as the first time, so the tires seems to be warmed up a bit. So final attempt, state of charge 88%, sport boost active, brake, go.
Zero to 60 miles per hour time 3.68 seconds. 0 to 100 cave time 3.87 seconds.
So 0.3 degrees of percentage upward slope, but still 3.87 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 3.68 seconds, 0 to 60 miles per hour, and this is on 88% state of charge. I mean, I don't need to prove it anymore. This car really hits the specs and even gets a bit lower than the specified 3.9 seconds. So really impressive from BMW. A bit complicated though to always activate the launch mode, but it's of course funny to do so. Nice sounds, etc. So there you have it, 3.87. That's the result. I mean, I did 3 tests, didn't need to do any more tests because very consistent results at every test and great grip. The car seems to handle the traction and torque in a very good way. Final results, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in launch mode took 3.8 seconds, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds, and BMW's own figure is 3.9 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. So it actually beats the stated specifications with 0.1 seconds. So that's good, beating specs both in range and acceleration. So now let's look at the cabin noise levels. So here to the right, you see the final measurements of the cabin noise in 4 different speeds: 50, 70, 90 and 110 kilometers per hour. And as I felt when I drove the car, this is not the most silent car in the class. And compared to Neo ET5, BYD Han, Xpeng P7, Ioniq 6 for instance, all of those cars are a bit more silent than this one. Even if it's only by like 1 decibel, this is not the most silent car in the class, and that's maybe not the focus of the M50. But of course the wheels add to that noise level, but the other cars also running 19-inch wheels, so wheel size almost the same on all these cars, except for the Ioniq 6 that only had 18-inch wheels. So it's time to summarize today's tests of the i4 M50. Does it deliver? Yes, it even over delivers. This car is really efficient. I mean, 554 horsepower, but you still got the range and the efficiency. I'm really impressed about that. And it also beats its specs when it comes to acceleration time. I mean, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is done in 3.8 seconds, and 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds. That's slower than a specified time. So all in all, if you want a car, sporty looking, sleek sedan from BMW with a classic design that delivers both performance, some practicality and range, this can be it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon.